Welcome to the December special of the Top Drives show. We are here in the fantastic Joe Macari showroom, surrounded by gorgeous, gorgeous cars. My name's Josie and I'm an analyst at Hutch.
I'm Jonathan and I'm design director at Hutch.
And I'm Tim, I'm head of analytics and marketing at Hutch.
And speaking of the lovely cars around us, we have picked some of our favourites from the showroom and we're going to have a look at them right now. My pick is the BAC Mono, which is a fantastic track car from Briggs Automotive Company. That's the family name associated. It's a wonderful car. Purchase price somewhere between 200,000 and 250,000 US dollars. Incredibly fast car. Will reach 0 to 60 miles per hour in 2.8 seconds, which is wonderfully quick, and will manage 170 miles per hour in a straight line. It weighs almost nothing. It's 540 kilograms, which I'm pretty sure is less than me, and a wonderful car, and all contained within quite a tight package. It's about 4 meters long and 1.8 meters wide, so really quite small, and I must say, a very comfy place to sit. I actually feel very relaxed in here, so it's very nice. The temptation is right there to, I really want to sort of drive this, but I understand that I'm a little bit boxed in, so I guess I'll have to wait for another day.
So my first choice is 1994 Ferrari 512M. This is the last iteration of the Testarossa series, and it just felt like they perfected the formula. It's they've lost the pop-up headlights. It's got a much more kind of distinctive face on it, and it's after a slightly kind of dodgy patch in terms of sort of how these cars were regarded. It feels like, for me personally, it's just its desirability is just shot up in kind of recent times. 4.9 litre V12, so you're getting that. I've always wanted a V12, and this is a pretty good way of getting one. Only 501 of them made, and as I was saying, it just felt like they'd really kind of optimized the formula with this car by the time this version came out. So just yeah, all in all, just a very desirable and very cool car, and I just want to drive it now.
All right, so in a showroom full of Ferraris and all kinds of amazing, incredibly fast cars that will probably be epic or legendary in Top Drives, how do you stand out? What catches your eye? For me, it's this. Yes, that's right, it's a common. It's the Fiat 500 RQ3, the 1957 version. This is actually from 1971, possibly a little bit better, maybe RQ4, whoa, if they're lucky. Yeah, just amazing, really. I mean, why is it here? It is a style icon. It says it right there on the card. If you check it out, it's tagged accordingly, and well, it should be. Now, most interesting thing going on here is that although the top speed is about 59 miles per hour, so it's not even registering on the 0 to 60 time, you have a look inside, the speedometer goes all the way up to 120. What's going on? What's going on? What are special modifications? Yes, actually just one. The speedometer is modified. Nothing else. They got it in from a bath. So yeah, you can drive that and imagine that maybe you could reach that speed as you go around some city streets hoping to beat some of these incredible cars on the speed bumps. That's probably not going to work even in the rain. Yeah, I don't think this is going to beat anything here on any Top Drives track, but I still love it. Style icon, cute modification, brilliant.
I am strapped in to a Maserati MC12 GT1, which was a racing car from the mid-2000s, a wonderful, no-compromise racing car with a 6-litre V12 based on the chassis of a Ferrari Enzo. I'm really, really geeking out sitting in here. The road car that this is based on has 3.7 seconds 0 to 60 time and will do 205 miles an hour on the straights. It also achieves 481 pounds-feet of torque, and you could buy a track-prepared version of this for $1.5 million US once upon a time. This is pretty cool.
So I've chosen the 1969 Mercedes 280 SL Pagoda. The Pagoda bit comes from the shape of the roof. But overall, the whole car is just a beautiful bit of styling. In terms of boring car facts, it was the first Mercedes to come with an alternator as standard. But actually, really, I mean, this car is just all about, I don't know, there's so much more kind of richness to it than that. I was lucky enough to take one out in some Scottish roads, quiet Scottish roads in the summer a couple of years ago, roof down. And it's one of those cars. It's quite unassuming. It's not particularly sporty. It's not particularly sort of powerful. It doesn't have a huge engine, but in terms of the feel-good factor, the way it just flows down the road and makes you feel when you're driving along, it's just off the scale. And that's why it's really an all-time classic and an easy choice for me.
All right. Now here's a great choice, the Dallara Stradale, not sure. Now Dallara, they're an Italian chassis manufacturer, so they're not usually making cars, they're helping out KTM make the Expo, or Alfa Romeo with the 8C and the 4C, or even Bugatti, helping them achieve their incredible top speeds. But in 2017, figured they'd make a road car. Lovely job they've done of it too. Yeah, so interesting thing, they know all about the chassis, but they had to bring in an engine. They got the Ford EcoBoost, 2.7 litre I think. Yeah, it's a bit of a surprise in a car like this. It does mean that even though the 0 to 60 is 3.2, the 0 to 100 is about 8.1, which gives it a mid-range acceleration of 65 by the Rex Kwon Do calculation method. Fairly disappointing in top drive terms. It's only about 900 kilograms, it's 855 dry, so I'm putting it at about RQ25 or 26 in top drives. Yeah, one of a kind, it's their only road car. Looks really great. Very practical, apart from the boot space. But yes, very efficient. Very sensible car to have. Only 600 of them. I'll take one, thanks, if I can. So one of the big questions in top drives is, what exactly is the ground clearance of this vehicle? Most critically, is it low or is it medium? Because mediums are going to have the advantage on the speed bumps. Now we draw the line at 5.4 inches or 137 millimeters. That is medium. That is this exact measurement here. So while we were here, I thought we could just double check some of these cars. Let's take a look at the Fiat 500. So, looking fairly safe. This is medium in game. And you'll see that is fairly convincing. Although just here I noticed the fuel tank's hanging a little low. Technically that is actually stopping there. Just a few millimeters over. Does that mean this should be low? Well, I don't know, because it has been modified, and I did notice if you take a squint at the Fiat 500 in game, the distance on the wheel arches over the tyres is quite a bit bigger. Don't know if this has been lowered or if it's a different version, but I would say it's safe for the version in game to stay medium. Next up, the Dallara Stradale. Is it actually medium? No, not even close. No, that's low, definitely low. No question. Easy. All right, let's have a look at this Ferrari. We don't have them in the game, but it was John's pick. It's very nice. Let's find out what they do. Ooh, no. No, that's about 3 millimeters over. Technically low. All right, let's check out John's other pick, the Mercedes here. Looking fairly safe. Oh, I just better check the exhaust. Ooh. Medium, no worries. All right, let's take a look at Josie's pick, this Mono here. Now, you might think that this would be low. And you'd be absolutely right. Yes, definitely low. Okay. All right, Josie's other pick, this racing Maserati here. I'm gonna try and fit this in sideways. Ooh, just about. Yeah, I could just about get this in sideways. I'm gonna say if we had a category that was lower than low, this would be it. That's low ground clearance. If we did any lower, maybe we should. That would be it. Ultra low.
The next thing that we've got for you is a little bit of a treat. Since it's the end of the year, we have dug deep into the bowels of the data in the game to pick out some of our favourite facts about top drives in 2019. So we're going to learn a little bit about that with Tim.
Yeah, all right, so here we go. Who were the most active players? Who had the biggest garage? Who won the most? All these sorts of things. And how often did they win exactly? So first, just a caveat, I'll get this in. This always annoys me, right? You get into mid-December and people are like, it's time for the best of the year. And I'm like, the year isn't over yet. What the heck is this? And like, so nothing after this counts. So we wanted to do a year of stats, but the year isn't over. So we did a year up to when we could, right? So it's 12 full months. It's just not technically all 2019, just to get that out of the way, just so you know. Right, okay, so here we go. The overall winner of most matches played of any kind, club events, going to do the campaign again for any reason, ladder matches, everything, right? Doing a total of 137,439 matches of all kinds.
Wow.
That is, it's a Russian name, but Google tells me it's Vladislav Lobanov. So there you go. Well done.
Wow,
Yeah,
congratulations.
Yeah.
That is quite an achievement.
That is quite a lot, and also the most won as well as the most completed. So win-loss coming in there a little
I want
bit.
to see their garage now.
Well,
And,
yeah.
must
What
be,
are they doing with it?
yeah.
They've got to be doing quite well. All right, and now club events. Now they haven't been out there for the whole year, but you can play them quite a lot, almost unlimited, and so you can go a long way just on those. And it's a different player who did those the most, playing 79,816 club events since it came out, substantially more than the person who came second. So really going for it. This is actually Elvis Choi 316. That's the name I recognise. Probably why I see him around.
Been up against them.
Yeah, I don't. Well, they're on Legacy, same team as me,
Okay.
yellow. So
All right,
yeah, they're helping us out there.
cooperating.
Thanks
Good.
for that, Elvis Choi. So that's
Well done.
great. Another one that's fun to look at: who's lost the most matches?
Oh, dear.
Now, I mean, that's probably their, smarting and losing so they can get more elsewhere. Maybe, I don't know. But why would you lose this many times? 24,509 losses in the year for. There's a lot of special characters. Kagdas Kukahemetoglu. There you go. That is the most lost, which is a sort of
A strange
runner-up
badge
one.
to wear, but
yeah,
still.
exactly. And then let's speed this up because we looked at all of them, and it's all different people. That's the interesting thing. Just event matches, which is the core of the game. Who's done the most of those? At 48,215. That is MDBB 75. I think I've seen that name around. And then who won the most event matches? Different person, Massimo Kogo. There you go, winning
quite nice having a-
42,762 event. That's like almost every ticket that you could play.
It's nice having different winners as well.
Yeah.
Exactly. And then a couple of different ones. Who did the most upgrades? This was kind of funny because, the game has been out for more than a year. And if you're just starting, there's probably more upgrading you're going to do. So maybe some of the old timers would have a harder time keeping up. This is an Arabic name. Google's telling me that it translates to Thea the Doorman. maybe it's doing some weird translation there, I don't know. But they did 103,946 upgrades.
Wow.
Over 100,000 upgrades. Nobody else did over 100,000.
That
It's
is.
quite a lot of cars.
Yes.
Yeah, it's not bad, 24 for each car. So that's, yeah, I'm not sure what they're doing there. Anyway, and finally, the biggest garage. Who has got the most cars out of anybody, and how many do they have? It turns out only one player has more than 5,000 cars. They have 5,128 slots. And that is Henrik Madsen. That's the name.
Truly
Seen
impressive.
that guy around. Yeah.
I imagine the filter system gets used quite a lot.
That's right.
With that collection.
These are the players who really need it. I mean, you know, the runner-up is a few hundred behind
Okay.
that. So,
So hearing these stats makes me
Henrik.
want. I know this probably goes for lots of players. It makes me want two things. One of which is is like your own profile in game, which I think would be
which is
great,
a common
which
request.
has been asked before.
Yeah.
And then the other one is tap on your opponent and see their garage.
Right, and see their stats.
Yeah.
That's
Yep.
right, exactly. Because there was that thing, Pokemon Go, somebody had caught 1 million Pokemons, you know, and there's that stat, you can see it.
I know,
You can
yeah,
see it and the
yeah.
stuff, and it's like, these numbers, players, it's in there, it's there, it's somewhere there.
Yeah.
Couldn't
Yeah.
they see it
So-
somehow and feel like, oh my goodness, I hit 10,000, I hit 20,000.
Wow.
Wow.
have
Oh,
to-
and then feed it into the achievement system.
Yes.
Yeah. Right, it's all coming together.
Oh dear.
Maybe
Oh,
later.
I have to
Yeah.
try and make a case for
Okay.
that.
And we've
Yeah.
also got a couple of things, just general game stats as well, don't we?
Yeah, so just one other thing is like, what's the most used car?
Yeah.
Right now, what happens if you do that? Immediately, the thing that falls out of it are all the boss cars that people win in the campaign, because you know even beginners get those, and
Yeah.
they're often the best
Yeah.
cars they have, and they use them all the time. And then there's two specific cars we give out on the daily rewards in the first 30 days, so they get used a lot. So you sort of have to filter those out to go, no, but which ones are people actually choosing to use?
My guess is,
And-
I would guess the Twizy.
Have a good guess.
It's not the Twizy, is it?
No, well, it's got to come in handy a lot. That's the other thing.
Okay.
It's got to be quite versatile. Twizy is a little bit of a niche. So, and because we don't have, I guess, that many in the off-road category, the winner is the Ford Escort Rally Spec, right? It's a brilliant, rare off-road tyres, strong for its RQ,
Okay.
brilliant specialist, and anytime there's any
Wow.
excuse to get an RQ14 off-road car in there, that's the one you would go for. And unsurprisingly, the number 2 is then the Datsun 240Z rally
Right,
car, which is
right.
the same thing but for RQ18 pretty much.
Yeah.
It's the one you'd choose. And then number 3, players might remember this. It's the Dodge Stealth.
Oh,
remember?
yes.
It got corrected. It
yeah.
got a lot better, but we neglected to change its RQ.
Yeah.
So for a while there, before we could update that, it was massively outperforming its RQ, and every time there was a challenge, it was just like, how many stealths can I get in? Because it would save you so much RQ. It was silly. So that got a cheeky.
I love how, I mean, that
Run out
top
to number
3
3.
goes to show how deep the understanding is of.
Yeah,
What's
players
good.
are getting it. They get
Yeah.
it. And I do have to mention, because players might be thinking, but what about the, yes, that's right, at number 4, it's the Renault Desire.
Really?
Yeah, because it has this really low top speed, which holds it back from the RQ ranking, because it doesn't do so well on the long drags.
Yeah.
But it's got great 0 to 60 and great handling, and it's really light. And actually the MRI is all right, even though the top speed's topping out at like 120. And so as long as you're not having to get too
Faster
fast
than
with it,
that, yeah.
it's just amazingly versatile. And we had to give it the specialist bump up in RQ to recognise the fact that it was kind of just overwhelmingly good in too many situations. So that was it.
That is great. That's an
Number 4.
eclectic top
you go.
4,
Yeah.
really, isn't it?
Good. Okay. And I believe we've also got a couple of shout outs that we need to
Yeah,
need to
yeah,
make.
exactly. I
just
thought
some quick player thank
this
yous.
time of year, it might be nice to look back at the players and say a thank you and give out a carbon fibre as well, why not, to some of the players who've contributed a lot to the community and the way we think about and talk about the game.
Yeah.
So this is going back a while now. This is like even the previous year, a bunch of these, but it's time they were recognised. So when people talk about upgrades, what we now tend to use, especially internally, is the 969 terminology, right? You upgrade your car to the max and it's like 3.3, 2.3, 3.3. That takes too long to say, too long to type. You've put 9 upgrades here, 6 here, 9 here. 969, there you go,
Yeah,
you're done.
yeah, yeah.
And you can describe any tune that
Yeah.
you want. You could do an exotic tune and it's 888. It's a bad idea, almost never do that. Or, you know, people use other terminology like 332 or 331, they use it in slightly different ways, but you don't quite know what's going on, especially legendaries. It's like, oh, you want to go 363 on that one. not 633, which the other terminologies struggle with. So that was really great. And that was actually 43MK, was it 4? Yeah, that's the guy.
That's the one.
Very active player. He came up with that a while ago and was like, that's it. That is the way to do it.
Great, it just works for what could, like you say, what could be quite a complex thing to get across. It just works and it's simple.
Use that all the time. There you go. And then another shout out. This has become the topic and it's just such a great word for it. All right, so we've got to build up to it. So, first of all, smurfing. That is when you lose deliberately in order to get match made with easier people to win later, right? That used to be a thing in top drives, but then we made it so that your trophies can't go below round numbers of 500. So you can't exploit that. Farming, I think, is the term in any game where you're earning resources, where that's the thing you do that's the most efficient way to get resources, whatever it is. Now in top drives, actually there's this thing where the most efficient way still is, even though we rebalance things, to put in bad cars, drop down to the bottom and then get 3-star wins really easily, right? And because that's farming, but sort of like smurfing, it's actually Mike's from the web forum who coined the term SMARF. It's a cross between smurf and farm in some weird way.
Again, it does the job, doesn't it?
Yeah, that's right.
It has all the letters of farms in it.
Exactly, it's all there. It's smurfing, that's what it is. And I like that. It's this unique top drivers thing. It's not quite like normal farming in a game, and it's not really smurfing because it doesn't help you win later on. Smurfing, that's what it is. And then the other version, this is not caught on, but I really love it, that if you're really trying to optimize, you can do the smurfing thing, but then towards the end of the event, put in better and better cars and rise up to the position you probably could have reached anyway and get all the best prizes from the top of the leaderboard as well. That is harder to do. I do it occasionally when I feel quite confident and I've got the time to make sure to do it. No, that I said I don't know what to call this, and that was Rob Gripes. He said, what about the half smurf?
Okay,
very reasonable, right? Rhymes, rolls off the tongue, slight smurfing, but only half smurf. Brilliant, Rob Gripes, yes. Carbon fiber for you too. And finally, this is just caught on big time. It's amazing. Like a year ago, I think, or more, players were saying, can't you tell us what the mid-range acceleration is of a car? And we were like, oh no, well, it's complicated. There's different ones. There's acceleration at the high end and the middle end and all over the place. Who knows? And then Rex Kwon-Do came out. He does a lot of great analysis of the game and how cars perform. And he said, I'm going to use this calculation. It's the ratio of the 0 to 60 speed to the 60 to 100 speed, multiply by 100, right? So what that means is, if it's 100, it can get from 60 to 100 in the same time it can get from 0 to 60. Right. Yeah. And then if it's less than that, then it's okay, it's not getting there as quickly. And if it's even more than that, which is very rare, then holy cow, it's really powering off. And the thing we said still stands. And some players have called this out now. It's popularized. People are like, hang on a minute, no, but it doesn't tell you which car's best at 150 or something. That's right, it doesn't. Mid-range acceleration covers a lot of things. But as one quick, easy to say, easy to calculate measure, it is pretty powerful and gives you a very quick, easy idea of if this car is any good. How strong is it really? Yeah. And it's on the sort of top drivesy scale, like handling is, where 100 is like really, really, really good. And there's just a few who go a little bit beyond it even. You have to upgrade handling to get there, but it's like it's in the right ballpark. It's intuitive. People find it a little bit hard to calculate. I think that people are putting out calculators out there on the web now that you can do to figure it out.
Is that the value that gets used on topdrives.club?
Yes, that's right. So good old EC, I'll shout out to him as well. He's got players to submit this calculation if they've got a car, and you can see it right there, the MRA of the car. So and I think that's really contributed to everybody embracing it and going, right, now this is how we can talk about how strong this car is in the mid-range. Yeah. Doesn't cover everything, but it is very handy, very popular. Should we put it on the car ourselves? I don't know. Probably not. Because we don't want to mislead you in that way.
Yeah.
No, but
I'm pretty sure. In fact, we had that question from Vincent Top Drives, who's had a lot of carbon fibre packs, which is why their question hasn't been featured. But they asked, could we put MRA on the card?
Right, exactly. There you go. So because we're saying it's not the complete picture, but players are doing a great job figuring that out. And spreading it among themselves. It's fine. We'll leave it at that.
Yep.
It's great. So thanks to Rex Kwon-Do for that.
Yeah, definitely. So just to go around again, thank you so much to 43MK4, Mike's, Rob Gripes and Rex Kwando for your contributions to the way that everybody talks about top drives. And for that, all of you are getting a carbon fibre pack, so make sure to get in contact with us, just like the question winners. Just want to say a huge thank you to Joe Macari Performance Cars for letting us come back and film for the second year running. We've had a lovely time looking around at the fantastic cars. It's lovely here. You should come and check it out. And if you're in the market for a very fast car or a classic car, this is a good place to come and take a look. So that is it from us this time around. Thank you very much for watching. We'll do another Q&A in January, so make sure to leave your questions down in the comments below. We look at the most liked comments first, so if you see a question that you like the look of, make sure to give it a like. While you're here, subscribe to the dedicated Top Drives YouTube channel and visit our social channels up above my head for more cool Top Drives content. We will see you soon, and thanks for playing Top Drives.